all rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending.
BYU will get themselves to 2-2 in the Big 12. Dallin Hall, trailer, Johnson, three! Spencer Johnson! Jackson Robinson up top, he won't take it, now he will, and make it for three! Jackson Robinson!
What's Trending is presented by Tim Daly Nissan, part of the Tim Daly Auto Group, serving Utah since 1968. BYU wins a big game last night, 87-72. Big game for a lot of reasons, Dave. We go into the pregame, suddenly Trevin Knell's out with the foot. Foose isn't playing with the hamstring, not to mention Dawson Baker shut down for the season. More on that later. And, of course, Marcus Adams Jr. Still kind of out. So what was your favorite part of BYU's impressive win over Iowa State?
Well, watching the pregame show, when I heard that Knell was out, the best three-point shooter on the team.
Maybe in the country.
Maybe in the country. On a night where we had just talked about yesterday, they've got to shoot the three at home because Iowa State gives up the three. I thought, okay. And then Foose was out. I was like, all right, it's got to go to Spencer Johnson. And he's got to do something that he hasn't done before, which he's got to lead, and he's led, but he's got to lead in points, he's got to lead in charisma, he's got to lead in leadership.
I saw that in the box score, charisma, 17.
Well, here's the oldest player in college basketball, and they used every ounce of his wisdom that he's picked up over the years last night. 28 points, that's a career best. The 9 rebounds, impressive. 5 assists, a steal. I thought it was interesting that I made a note while we were watching the game, is he picked up his first foul in a very physical game with 1:20 left in the second half on some slap on a layup where they're up by 20. And that's how smart he played. He had to stay in the game. There's nowhere for him to go. He played 35 minutes. He hit his open shots. He didn't miss a shot in the second half, 4 of 4. But then he had this calming influence on everybody else. Did that lead to better free throw shooting? Did it lead to out-rebounding the team as a whole? Did it lead to more assists? I think it led to everything. Because you got to have one guy when the storm hits to go, guys, it's good. Follow me, boys. It was like, that's kind of what I thought. It was like he said to the other guys, follow me, and we'll go this way. They did, and BYU rolled.
Yeah, the storm wasn't from the Cyclones, ironically enough. It was from Brigham Young, who needed this game, Dave. Yeah. BYU came into this game needing to get to 2-2 because you're at Texas Tech Saturday, you'll be a dog. Houston at home next Tuesday, you'll be a dog. BYU was the favorite in this game. They were supposed to win this game, despite it being a ranked matchup and a top 10 net matchup. It becomes the best win of the season.
Right.
Not just because it's number 10 net and a ranked team, it's because you didn't have Trevin Knell and Foose, and you blow those guys out. It's a 15-point game, but it's a 9-0 run by Iowa State at the end. This very well could have been a 20 or 22-point win. I will take wins of 1+ in every Big 12 game. I don't care whether it's a blowout or a 1-point win. I just want to see BYU win, and order has been restored. After losing the Cincinnati game and playing better but losing at Baylor, BYU has bounced back with its first road and now home wins in Big 12 history, and now BYU is 2-2. And there was this collective exhale last night of like, okay, we can handle this. And you see BYU growing before our eyes. This is not the team this year or program that played in the WCC for 12 years. This is a team that is going to battle every night. We're using battle, tough, opportunity, all these words every game, right?
It's war time.
It's important for BYU to learn how to compete in this league, and we're seeing them do it. It doesn't mean they're not going to get blown out at some point, or do more of this, or blow other people out. But you're seeing the team evolve. One thing that we questioned and had concerns about was BYU's ability to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, because they hadn't done it very much.
They hadn't done it a lot, and it was happening to them a lot, and it was like, I said Monday, these numbers aren't sustainable. If BYU continues this way, there's no way, to me, they would actually make the tourney. You can't be outshot at the free throw line by 44 attempts in 3 games and be like, yeah, we'll be fine. Unless you make like 20 threes a game, that ain't happening. But BYU makes 13 threes, but most importantly, season high in free throw attempts and makes. Yeah. BYU got to the line and made those shots. Now, they don't actually shoot more free throws than Iowa State last night. Iowa State catches up in the end by 1. But that showed me BYU's not only adjustments, but ability to create more off the dribble, because if you don't make 13 threes, you'd be fine. And you don't want to get out-physicaled and whatnot. I was very impressed by BYU's ability to adapt to Iowa State, who was the second best defense in the country by the 2 metrics that matter, efficiency and points per possession. BYU put up 87 on them, Dave. That's the most they've allowed all year.
Well, they only give up 58. They give up 87.
Houston scored 53 last week.
Yeah.
Now, Iowa State, different team at home. And
Everybody
BYU is too.
Everybody is.
But what BYU did last night was crazy impressive, and it's the best win of the year. San Diego State was that before. This becomes that. And then, at Texas Tech could become that. Houston could become that. Kansas or one. You have opportunities. But what last night showed for BYU is, okay, the doubt of the first two Big 12 games and the rhetoric of sort of paper tiger and whatnot, you can dismiss that a little bit because BYU put up another great win.
Yeah, Noah Waterman was big after 2 games without scoring, comes with 18, was down there fighting. You know what? He was getting knocked around quite a bit and spent a lot of time on the floor, but he always got back up.
Yep.
Shaking his head and this and that, but he stayed in the fight. Dallin Hall, after those early turnovers, when Mark Pope sat him down for a minute, and he came back in. I don't think he had one after that. And he was dynamic in the second half. And then he started to hit a couple of threes.
Yep.
And when Dallin Hall's hitting threes and Spencer Johnson's already riding a career high, then everyone else has got backdoor cuts left and right because the Cyclone defense, number 2 in the country, had no idea what to do. Who do we guard? And if we have to go out and deal with Khalifa, somebody's going to be open on the backdoor cut. And BYU stayed consistent. They also played 2 halves for the first time.
Yep.
2 good, solid halves. Really, maybe for the first time in a long time, but first time since San Diego State against an opponent they were kind of scared of. Like, hey, if we don't bring it, they're going to punish us.
Yep.
That fear is good. That fear should be going to Lubbock on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it should still be at the Marriott Center when Houston comes in. But there are some sports metaphors that I think are in play here. Boxing is a great one. This is an 18-round fight. And BYU barely got out of the first round, losing those first 2 games. And then everyone was like, oh, this fight's over. BYU doesn't have it.
They didn't play anybody in non-conference.
Now they're paper tigers, like you said.
Yep.
Well, then they come back and they get one on the road, and then they beat Iowa State, and now they're in the fight.
Yeah,
now
they're in it.
Now you're in the early to middle rounds, and you're still in the fight in the late rounds. You have a chance to win the whole thing. So they've withstood that. Tennis is another one. You're down 0-2 out of the gate. You got to get to even, right? So they win at UCF. They win last night. Now it's back and forth. If you get beat Saturday, you come home and win Tuesday. If you get beat here, you come home. You stay even. That's how you get to the 9 wins that some people have thought can go 9-9 in their first year in the Big 12.
Yep.
But they can certainly get to 7. And 7 gets them in the NCAA tournament.
7's probably the minimum. So you've allowed yourself some space here now that you're 2-2. If BYU goes 5-9, they're still in an at-large-ish position. It would be disappointing not to make the tourney given the start.
Sure.
And given 14-3, 2-2. By the way, BYU's resume this morning in terms of net team sheet, BYU's 2-3 in quad 1s, 2-0 in quad 2. 4-3 in quad 1 and 2 right now. Stacks up with almost everybody else in terms of the top teams in the country. So BYU belongs. They are a top 20 team. They have earned that. The Iowa State win really helps with that. Now you go and you play at Texas Tech on Saturday. You host Houston after that. You have opportunities, but certainly if you don't win one of those 2, you've got to beat Texas on January 27th, and then you go to West Virginia. You probably need to win that one. Then you could get back to 4-4, and you're still in a good spot. If BYU can hover around 500, that's where you want to be. If you get 4 games below 500 would be the max. 7-11 is what we're talking about. BYU's giving itself enough space to lose a game here or there, right?
Yeah.
Tough games that we're not going to be like, they were supposed to win that game. In the WCC, we felt like BYU was supposed to win 12 of the 16 games. Now the standard changes, and so it's just like, okay, play well, compete, maybe you sneak out with a couple road games. You already got 1. You only need probably 1 or 2 more. You just need to get 3 or 4 more home wins, and then you're in business. So it just feels good on this Wednesday morning, despite taking 3 times as long to get to work today because of the snow. That BYU won last night.
Listen,
and is in a good spot.
Think about last Friday's show. They're going to UCF, and it's a must-win. We're talking about it's a must-win, or at least feels like one. And now here on Wednesday, they put 2 together, and now they're in the middle of the standings, and their net's at 4 again. And you're right. And it's important. We say this often because we are learning as we go to enjoy these moments, enjoy that night because we're not sure when the next one's going to be. And it might be Saturday, it might be a while. Nobody knows in this league, which is why you got to watch the whole time. But this is a day to enjoy. This is a day to soak it in and go.
Enjoy the journey.
That was a good night at the Marriott Center for the home team.
It would have been good with Trevenel and Foose. It was without him. There were some fans going back and forth on Twitter, where Iowa State was like, we'll see you March 6th. Yeah. And BYU fans were like, oh, by the way, we'll add 2 starters. We'll add, other BYU was down 4 scholarship players last night without Dawson Baker for the rest of the year and Marcus Adams Jr. So great win for BYU.